Hey, Tommy from the Run Testers, and welcome to the monthly roundup. In this video, we talk about all of the bits of kit that we've tested over the past few weeks that we just haven't been able to talk about in any of the other videos. So let's dive in and see what we all picked over the past month.
So to kick off this month, I'm going to do reviews of a couple of bits of Soar running gear that I've been testing lately, some from their new autumn-winter range for the year. I've got the Race Base and the Trail Rain jacket, which is kind of like a smock jacket. The Race Base is £90 or $120, whereas the jacket is £250 or $325. So pretty pricey items, but the performance is always there, as you expect from Soar. The Race Base is an idea I really like because I am a coward. I don't like winter races, and I always want to be warm, but I don't know, tradition almost dictates that you should just wear a vest, especially for things like cross-country races, whereas I don't like to do that. I like to wear a base layer, and this is a really thin, lightweight base layer made from the same material that you have for their raced vests. So it comes in white and black. White happens to match my club vest, so I've been racing in this a couple of times already and using it pretty much week in, week out for my main hard session of the week as it's a bit colder. Slip it on under a vest or a t-shirt. You've got a really nice slight extra layer of warmth that's, you know, not the hottest in the world, so you can still run fast and have a nice breathable top without overheating. I think it's a really nice idea and very much appeals to me as someone who would rather be warm than really thinking about being as lightweight as possible for racing. I think I race better when I'm a bit warmer, and if you've got a nice unrestricted top like this, it's really good for fast running. So yeah, huge fan of the Race Base. Very much speaks to me, as I say, as a coward for winter races. Now the Trail Rain jacket, I didn't use that much when I first got it because it was just a bit too mild and actually quite dry for a while in the UK, but been using it a lot over the last week or so. This is a really breathable jacket, and actually it's more of an anorak really. You've got this smock style fit with this double zip system at the front there. The idea being that you can unzip both, pull it down, and if you're wearing a vest on trail runs, you get a bit more of an opening there that works with the straps a bit better. It's also got some abrasion resistant sections to wear with the vest, so you're not rubbing it when you are running on the trails. Packs away into a pocket very quickly and easily with a couple of buttons to hold it in place. It's very packable actually, because it doesn't actually feel like thin and flimsy, but it does pack into a nice small package really quickly, and it is really breathable. Like I say, like it's very much what Soar goes for with all of its waterproof stuff, and this is fully waterproof and abides by the regulations for trail races, but in a really lightweight package that's really breathable. So I've been using it last few days, and actually in a couple of those days it's just been cold or windy and it's been great. So I was up in Scotland over the weekend, did one run on the trails, but you know, it was about zero basically, the temperature for the whole time there. That's centigrade, I don't know Fahrenheit, and it was perfect up on the trails. You know, didn't overheat when I was pushing hard up hills, and then on the top of them it's a good layer to protect against the wind you get at the top of little hills and things like that. Very cold conditions running on my Sunday long run down the canal in Edinburgh. Again, it wasn't raining on those days, but it was very cold or windy, and the jacket was a really good layer. And then today went out and it was quite mild conditions. It must have been like 7 or 8 degrees here, but it was wet, and again, no overheating. I've used it for track sessions as well in fairly mild conditions, so it is really breathable. It's the kind of thing you just chuck on now, and if you're expecting that rain might come, you've got the layer on there, and if it doesn't come, it doesn't matter. Your waterproof isn't too clammy. So yeah, I've been a really big fan of the rain jacket. It is very much a waterproof though. It's got that, you know, that feel to it. It doesn't get clammy really. I've been wearing it with long sleeves mostly, but it's not really a clammy, sweaty top at all because it is so breathable. But I usually personally tend to prefer like a very water resistant top or a slightly waterproof top that might not hit regulations, that has a slightly softer fabric. Soar does a lot of these as well, like things with their all-weather jackets and that kind of thing that are waterproof, but they have the feel of you know, almost a normal running jacket. But this is a really nice lightweight waterproof for sure. I'm going to use it a lot this winter, and like I say, it doesn't have to be raining for it to be useful because it is so breathable. So that's obviously a big tick when you're paying this much money. It also dries very quickly. Also, I was out in this only a couple of hours ago and it was very wet at the end of that. I went to just grab it for this video and it is completely dry, so that's handy as well. And the last thing I'm going to talk about this month is the Buff Crossknit headband, which is £21 and $26. It's a nice winter headband. Basically, it's a little bit thicker than the ones that the very thin fabric I tend to use over the summer. Keeps your ears nice and warm. It's got a fairly loose fit, nice and stretchy. Does a decent job of wicking sweat away and not feeling like cold and clammy on your head or too, you know, disgusting at the end of a run. So you can use it a few days in a row, no problem at all. Again, I use this in the weekend up in Scotland for, you know, like a half marathon long run and like a run on the hills. And yeah, nice level of heat and warmth and protection there without getting sweaty and clammy at all. It's got almost this dual layer that does dry very quickly as well. So nice option if you're a headband wearer for the winter months. Works well with glasses. I've not got my glasses on right now because the ring light reflects in them. But yeah, it's a good headband. Covers the ears well. You can use, I wore it on both runs actually with glasses and over-ear headphones, like hooking over, and it's nice and stretchy and accommodating, so it doesn't, press those things against your head. So it's a nice headband to use for the winter. That's the Buff Crossknit headband.
So my first pick this month is the Fractel M Series SIROCCO Winter Edition cap. Now, if you are a runner who likes to own a cap, you've probably at some point picked up a Fractel cap. I've got loads of them. I've been running in them all over the summer. I'm a big fan of them. They're nice, they're lightweight. But this one is a little bit different. So this is a winter cap, and you really can only use it in winter. It's quite thick. It's got this fleece line design to it, and if you wear it in summer, you're going to get a very sweaty head. In the winter, though, it started getting quite cold here in the UK. It suddenly started to work really well for me. When I tend to use it when I go out for those runs where I might be going to do the 10k, 15k, just at a nice slow pace, which for me would be around 5 minute 20 kilometers, where I'm not really getting a massive sweat on. I'm just out there, and I want something that's just going to keep my head a little bit warm, and this does the job. It's really comfortable. It's relatively breathable, but when I'm out in the cold, breathability is not really a major issue because I'm not really sweating a lot if I'm going slowly. But the other thing about this as well is it's just a really nice looking cap. I mean, you can probably just wear this all the time. I've got quite a lot of caps, as you've probably noticed if you watch the Run Testers videos. I've been wearing this as a normal cap quite a bit recently. It's just very nice and comfortable, and does keep your head a little bit warm on the winter days. So big fan of this. It's probably a bit more expensive than some caps you'll get. It's £36, but it's a lot thicker and does something that a lot of other running caps don't do. So yeah, well worth picking up if you're the sort of runner that gets a cold head and wants something that's a little bit toastier. My next pick this month is the socks, and I'm going to have to look at the name of them because it's quite convoluted. It's the Darn Tough Grit Micro Crew Ultra Lightweight Running Socks. Now, these are really thin socks, but they're quite nicely padded as well, so they're a nice balance. I've been wearing them quite a bit over the past month. I've used them during races. I've used them for long, slow plods. I've used them on the trails. They're just great. They're really comfortable. They're quite thin, so you can wear them with race shoes, and they don't make them make your foot uncomfortable or make your feet too hot. But also they're relatively padded as well, so you can use them with other shoes, and they don't feel like ridiculously ultra thin socks, which are really just designed for racing. So they're a nice balanced pair of socks. They're just socks. I don't have a lot to say about them apart from the fact they're really comfortable. They fit my feet perfectly, no issues at all. Very comfortable in the right areas, nice and breathable. Good socks. My final pick this month is the North Face Quarter Zip Run Fleece. I think that's what it's called. So I got this a few months back. I think I got it in September, and I tried wearing it once, and I didn't pick it up again until now. Because it's quite a thick. It's not really a fleece. It's just more like a running top, but it's quite warm. So when I tried it in September, it was just instantly I was just way too hot, and I wish I hadn't worn it for that run. But since then, as it's been getting colder, I've started to pull out a lot more of my winter kit from my stores, and I've been wearing this quite a bit recently. So as the temperatures drop. And I don't want to wear a jacket. I try not to wear a jacket too often when I go out running, because more often than not, within about 3k, I have to take the jacket off. So I tend to use long sleeves quite a bit in the winter. I'd still probably go for a lighter long sleeve if I was going out for a really hard run, like an interval session or something. But for most of the runs that I'm doing at the moment, I'm not training for a marathon at the moment or really training for any shorter races. So most of the runs that I'm doing are really at a comfortable base pace for me, so I'm not really looking to go all out and get a sweat on. So, but this is really nice. So basically, you put this on, head out there. It keeps you nice and warm when you just get out, but it's breathable enough to handle a nice, comfortable run without getting too sweaty. And it means you don't need to wear a jacket as well. So I'm really enjoying wearing this. It's quite loose fitting as well. So I'm a medium. This is medium, and it's not figure hugging. It's quite relaxed fit, which I like for my running. I don't like wearing tight things. I'm not a young man anymore. And also my favourite thing about it, which is my favourite thing or a necessity for me with any long sleeve tops, is you've got a little thumb hole in it as well. I always need a thumb hole. Love a thumb hole in a top. Other things Other things on it, it has these reflective strips. There's not many of them on it. They're on each arm. I don't think they're going to make a massive difference in terms of visibility at night, but they do have it on there as well. And the inside is very soft. So some running tops, if you get technical running tops, don't necessarily have a soft inner. This does. It's quite comfortable to wear. Sometimes I put this on and wear it all day before I go out for a run in the evening. It's quite a comfortable top to wear if you're working from home. And it zips up nicely. So I tend to start my run with it zipped all the way up, and by the end of the run I zip it all the way down, and I've got my chest showing. So yeah, just a solid, nice running top that's very, very good for the colder days. You definitely want to wear this in the summer though, because it's quite a warm one.
I've mentioned the CXP Run XP running underwear or base layer shorts before, and these CXP Endurance are a new pair that follow the same blueprint as those. You get this incredibly light, soft, pliable fabric that has this sort of supportive second skin feel without feeling too restrictive. The waistband is really nice and wide, it doesn't roll, it stays securely put while being flexible enough to avoid cutting in. And you've got these sort of chafe-beating flat seams throughout, plenty of support for all your important bits up front. The other benefit of the thin fabric is that you can wear these under almost any shorts. They come in 5 and 7 inch legs. The 7 inch also have silicone grips to secure the legs. They are brilliant chafe-free running undies. Now these wind trail shorts surprised me. I took a gamble on day 2 of my 100-mile run around Lake Garda earlier in the year, and I swapped them in for my normal shorts. Now I'm not usually a runner who wears tight shorts with everything on show, but the hugging fit and soft flexible fabric that's almost silky on the inside make these incredibly comfortable to run in. I was really super surprised. They kind of disappear for an almost naked feel, and they just move with the body. They're made from thicker fabric that's designed for cooler temperatures, but I actually ran in these on 25 degrees plus days for up to 6 hours. They wicked well, they dried fast. The lighter ventilated paneling in the front and around the hottest bits really helps. And then there's the pockets. You've got one stretch pocket on the back, and you've got 2 zippered leg pockets as well. They're ace for additional easy access storage, and I like them so much that I wore them again on the final day of my run. Overall, I clocked around 60 miles over 2 days in them without any chafe and in total comfort, and I really love them. I'll be using them on long trail runs in the future. Now here's one for any ultra runners out there looking for long run fuel, or in fact any runners who like to top up their carbs pre-run, or anyone who happens to have a sweet tooth as well. When it's time to turn to the solids on long endurance efforts, the Stroop waffle I think is always a good choice. And these Untapped waffles are 100% delicious. They're basically maple syrup. They're sweet, crumbly, and almost melt in the mouth, so they're really easy to eat. There's not too much chewing. They're a little bit dry, but not in a way that leaches all the moisture out of an already dry mouth. So you can get them down even if you don't have water. Each one packs a hit of 20 grams of carbs. There are loads of lovely flavours to choose from, including maple, lemon, cocoa, raspberry, coffee and chai. If you're in the UK, you might have to hunt a bit to find shipping, but it's probably worth digging because they are delicious. The trick is going to be not eating them all whilst you're watching telly on the sofa though.
That's it from us this month on the Monthly Roundup. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell, all of those sorts of things. And if you go into the caption below, you can find a link to our podcast, which comes out at the end of each month. And if you're watching this in November or December, it's all about super trail shoes. So we're talking about carbon plate shoes for the trails. So thanks a lot for watching, and we'll catch you next time.